men. Of course he's going to sleep with white men. And guess what? He lives in bond. It's a house filled with 4 or 5 men, no women. So I'm convinced that this man is a closet homosexual because of his words, his behavior, and just everything about him screams homosexuality to me. A closet preacher or pastor or whatever. Anyways, guys, go ahead and watch this clip and tell me what you think about it. Tell me, do you think this guy is basically playing both sides, playing the side, or is he just a coon who just likes trolling people? I don't know what he's doing, but I don't know what's in his head or his thought or why he's doing this, but it's really sad. That self-hatred is really sad. But go ahead and view the video, guys. Thank you for watching.
That the black boy was, quote unquote, went to pick up his brothers or sister or something for the mother. He knocked on the wrong door. I think that's the thing. He knocked on the wrong door, and the man shot him for whatever reason. I don't know the full story yet, but it's turning into a race thing. It's a mess. This is from MSNBC. Student from Ralph High School walked out in support of the 16-year-old who was shot in Kansas City. Watch this from Fox.
An 84-year-old white man is facing charges in the shooting of a black teenager in Kansas City. Ralph Yarl was going to pick up his twin brothers last week, but rang the doorbell at the wrong house about a block away. He was shot twice, including once in the head. The homeowner, Andrew Lester, claims that Yarl was attempting to break in. Just moments ago, students and faculty from Yarl's high school walking out in support, chanting, "We love you, Ralph," and "Justice for Ralph."
Amazing. And that's what I was, Bliss and I was talking about in the first hour, is that those kids who are marching and carrying on, they have taken sides without even knowing the story. And even if they knew the story, whatever happened with that white guy and the boy, the black boy, was between the two of them and no one else, right? Just those two. But they have been trained to take a side. Isn't that amazing? And most of them probably don't even know the boy, but they have been trained to take a side. Someone is controlling them. Hey, y'all, we need to go out and protest. A white man shot a black boy. And they took sides. And now they're divided. And that's what we have in my country. We have a divided society now. Everybody taking a side when the issue had nothing to do with them. It wasn't about them. And instead of learning from the situation, they take sides and learn nothing. And the schools are not set up, well, not supposed to be, but they are now, to go out and protest and carry on. The schools are for reading, writing, and arithmetic. We're so off track in my country today that it's not even funny. These young people are training to take a side because they think it's racism. Somebody told them it's racism. They didn't think that on their own. Someone told them that. And they're taking a side. Grown people do the same thing. They take sides. It had nothing to do with them, but they take a side. And all people who do those things are divided within themselves. They don't know what really, really happened. And again, if they did know the exact fact of what happened, they knew the truth about it, it wasn't between them. It had nothing to do with them. They should wish both parties well, the black guy and the white guy. Wish them well, because the situation is between the two of them only. Remember when America was that way for the most part? Exception to the rule. Remember when we were taught, don't take a side? but to wish everybody well. It didn't happen to you. Why are you involved? Remember when America was like that? And that was because boys were boys and men were men, and men were leading the way. Do you take sides when it's not even involving you at all? Another thing interesting story about this is that the parent of those children, where are the parents? Why do they let the teacher use their children to protest issues that has nothing to do with them? Why don't the parents love their children enough to either to demand the teachers cut that out or take their kids out of the school? Why are they allowing these children to take sides? And they're going to grow up believing the lie that racism exists. And this mess will continue. It will continue because the generation after generations are being deceived. It will continue. You're fighting, and the kids are being taught to fight too. Fight with one another. Split up and argue and fight. And our country is going to hell in a handbasket. The government is taking control of you. You're fighting over nonsense stuff. You're fighting over nonsense stuff. It has nothing to do with you. You fight inside yourself, and then you divide outside and fight. Fighting with the devil inside of you and fighting with the devil outside of you, inside of others. Be in control and don't know it. There's a difference between love and hate, folks. Not emotional love. Love is not emotional. True love is not emotional. It requires nothing from you. It just lives through you. And it gives you a bright, clear mind where you cut out all this crap. We all have done this madness until you wake up. And this is why they don't want Christianity in anywhere, any place. Because Christianity requires, like no other religion that I'm aware of, it requires that you admit you're wrong for hating, for playing God, for being angry, right? You admit you're wrong. You go and forgive. I will forgive you and bring you into the kingdom within. And you shall have life right here on earth. No other religion does this. And that's why they try to get rid of it and bring in all these other religions that doesn't require that, as far as I know. And over the years, no one has told me I was wrong. Christianity is the best religion because it says we must be born again. Salvation is of the heart. You got to stop running from the devil within you and running from the devil outside and inside of others. When will you face it and overcome it? Evil is not going to stop until it stops in you. If you want peace on earth, turn away from evil. So they'll take us out. This 86-year-old man is in jail now. I guess, is he in jail? I don't know if he's in jail, but he's been accused. First of all, he's a white man, and ain't no way white men are going to get away with anything in this country. I'm being told he's been bailed out. Remember the white guy in Arizona? This story faded away as far as I know. I haven't heard any more about it. The illegal aliens was coming on his land. He an old guy, and according to the story, just he and his wife were living there. The illegals coming onto their land. They were trying to protect themselves, according to the story. And they want to lock up the old white guy. Not the illegal, but the white guy. And the guy shot into the air, I believe, according to the report. Can't you see what's going on? Can't you see why we're losing the country unnecessarily? We don't have to lose America. So according to the CNN, the guy out of Ralph, up there in Ralph, wherever he was, I mean Kansas City, turned himself in at a detention center Tuesday. Then hours later was released on bail, $200,000 bond. I thought they didn't have, you don't have to have bail bonds anymore. You can just wait at home until your trial if you have one. Is it only white people have to pay bail bond? That's from CNN. What a mess. The guy been let out on bail. When will you wake up? We're supposed to love one another. This country was built on that. Even when I was growing up on the civil rights movement, I mean, not civil rights movement, but Jim Crow, we were taught to love one another. It's not them. It's not us. We've been driven either by good, either by evil, or good. And it's unfortunate they got those kids out of school to go out and protest, and they have no clue. And they don't have love either. They don't love that black boy or that white man either. Those kids are happy not to be in class. They're being used by somebody, whoever organized those kids and encouraged them to go out and do that, they're being used. But the parents don't care because the mother got to be out pretending that she's equal to the man and letting the kids suffer at home. She's not going to watch over his children. Fox is reporting a couple was assaulted by a mob of teenagers over the weekend in downtown Chicago. A couple who was assaulted by a mob of teenagers over the weekend in downtown Chicago saw the cops just drive past them. According to this story, watch this from Fox.
Two victims violently assaulted by a mob of teenagers over the weekend. They are sharing their experience.
We were just downtown in Chicago trying to shop, trying to get some food. And we were walking down the street, and there was a really big group of guys, a really big group of people.
And girls.
Yeah, guys and girls. And, DJ had my hand, and he was trying to lead me through the crowd of people. And they pushed him, they pushed me. And as soon as they pushed me, I told DJ, I said, hey, they just shoved me. And he asked them, he was like, yo, don't shove her, who shoved her? And as soon as he said that, everything went crazy. They said they're gonna kill us. They turned around and, started fighting,
So sorry.
I got pushed down to the ground, and I got pushed down to the ground, and the whole group of people went to DJ, not me. Like, I have a lot less injuries than he does because I was more of a bystander than anything, but everyone went for him, and it ended up in the middle of the street. They were jumping him in the middle of the street. It got pretty bad.
And they say a good Samaritan gave them shoes, drove them to the hospital where they were treated for minor injuries, then drove them home that night. No one is in custody in that attack.
Amazing. No one is in custody. We have a divided nation over nothing, over illusions. And the young are being used to divide it even more. So it's going to get worse. It's not going to get better. The young have been brainwashed. They're not loved by their parents. They're not loved by the teachers. They're not loved by the government. And no one can stop it. This is why when you wanted to control a nation, destroy the family. Destroy a family. You destroy the family, it's gone. It's over. That's what happened to the black family. It's not about racism. They destroyed the black family. Started maybe even beforehand, but as far as I'm aware, it started with the so-called civil rights movement. The man agreed to leave the home for the welfare check for the mother, and this is what you get. Destroy the family, you can brainwash the children. I bet if you stop those young folks who were doing that riot in there, and you ask about their parents, they don't know who their fathers are. What father? The anger you see in those kids is that of the mothers. And according to Fox, it said that Chicago, that the cops just drove past. They watched the cop go past. I guess the kids that were being beat up, allegedly. But the cops, they can't, in Chicago, especially with the black government, they can't do anything about it. Black mayor and stuff. The cops would go to jail if they had tried to stop those kids from doing that. The cops